I was over 300 pounds. I was really in a dark place. I had weight loss surgery. Nothing moved. I tell everybody it is not the answer.
The United States, the food corporation, the medication, they put a lot into marketing. They put a lot into the food to make people want to be addicted to it. So you're fighting against the trap that they have set for you. The number one cause for death in the United States is basically cancer and also heart attacks.
People take the medication, they don't go to the gym, they don't even change their lifestyle, and they still lose the weight.
Wow.
But there's a caveat in that. You're going to end up in the hospital. I had one patient, she walked in one day, almost in tears. She said semaglutide for 3 months and did not lose a pound. And this lady was like 320 pounds. Do you know in a year, this lady now is 188 pounds.
That's amazing.
If you don't change your mindset, you are not going to succeed.
Before we get into this amazing episode, I'm calling all business owners, coaches, entrepreneurs who got a great product or a service, but guess what? You're having a hard time selling it. You aren't getting any leads. Your calendar is dried up. Podcasting is the tool you need. It's a 24/7 organic lead machine that you need to have in your business.
Absolutely. Having a marketing plan, some kind of way on how to find your clients within your business is the most important way on how you're going to be able to grow and hit all your financial goals, whether your goal is $100,000, whether your goal is $500,000 or even $1 million plus. You need more eyeballs. A lot of people are finding that ads are way too expensive for their budget. Also, another problem is a lot of people are over relying on other people to grow their business. So I'm talking about word of mouth and referrals. Those are not reliable strategies on how you're going to grow your business. If you want to learn exactly how to market your business and be seen by millions on top of millions of people, go ahead and click the link down below. I want to invite you guys to our masterclass where we're showing you strategies on how we was able to grow a huge platform within less than 2 years with over 300,000 plus followers across all channels. If you're looking to learn how to market your business and be seen by your dream clients, join us in this masterclass. Enjoy the rest of this episode because this one is going to be a banger. All right, y'all. So welcome back to another episode of Motion and Success. Listen, guys, my name is Cody Brown and I got my co-host with me today.
It's Ayo, man. Yo, we back with another great episode, another fantastic guest.
Yes.
Excited for this one too.
Listen, this is going to be one of the episodes that you have to listen to. Here's exactly why, right? If you've been struggling with weight loss, if you've been struggling to, go ahead and drop a few pounds, if you've been struggling to, just get a healthier lifestyle, this is going to be the podcast that you need to tune into because the person that we're going to get ready to introduce today is a nurse practitioner, right? Nurse practitioner and specializes in weight loss and also helping you guys drop pounds. So listen, if you guys are looking to do that, watch this episode from the start all the way to the finish because I promise you there's going to be game, there's going to be information, and we're going to discuss everything. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and introduce our guest today, Nurse Practitioner Joice. Go ahead, introduce yourself, tell the people about yourself, and we'll get started from there.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
I am really grateful to be here. Well, my name is Dr. Joice, and I wear many hats. I am the owner and CEO of Golden Hands Weight Loss and Wellness Clinic, and also the host of a new podcast, Journey Beyond the Scale.
Okay.
I am originally from Africa, Cameroon. I was born in a little town called Kumba, and I immigrated to the United States. I started as an LPN, and I worked my way up to doctorate. And, in the midst of that, I was over 300 pounds.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
300 pounds. And during that time, I was so depressed. I was anxious. I was seeing a mental health, psychiatrist just to, take care of my mental health.
Really?
But, I decided to get a weight loss surgery. But I tell everybody it is not the answer. If you don't change your mindset, you are not going to succeed. So basically, I help a lot of patients and clients lose the weight. And sometimes, like right now, I tell my patients, we just have to refrain from saying lose, lose, lose. in you losing the weight, you also gaining certain things, like you gaining energy, you gaining good sleep, things like that. So it's just an overall, mental health shift,
Yes.
and you taking care of your health.
Wow. Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I know you usually kick it off, Hayo, so you can definitely start off the convo.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing right there. You know what I mean? Definitely, like, I'm familiar with the health background, and a lot of people, they struggle to lose weight.
Yes.
To be honest with you, a lot of people struggle to lose weight. So what were some of the avenues that you took to losing your weight? Because you said you used to be like 300 pounds. Like, what's some of the things that you did to lose that weight?
So, like I said, in 2018, I had weight loss surgery.
Okay.
But after that, I stalled for 2 years.
Okay.
Nothing moved. Okay. And I want to say I was exercising, going to the gym, working out, trying to eat, because, with the weight loss surgery, your stomach is small.
Yeah.
But I was asking myself, why am I not losing the weight? I came to a conclusion: the mindset. And if you trash dumbing yourself, when I say trash dumbing, I'm talking about saying negative things. I was saying negative things to myself. I'm not worthy. Look at me. I can't even lose weight. Look at everything I've done, but I'm still stuck.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck. But thank God, GLP-1s came out, okay?
Really? Yeah.
And it helped me go over that bridge. And I am healthy today. Thank God to GLP-1s. And I mean, not to say weight loss surgery is not a good thing. It has saved a lot of lives.
It has.
Yeah.
I don't want to discount that.
Right.
Because it helped me got over a certain number of pounds, but it didn't move me to where I was supposed to be.
Right.
So, it's just a thing of a mindset shift. So you have to change your mindset, make sure you're eating right, you're exercising as well. And, obesity and weight gain is genetics too. It runs in my family. My 2 kids, my son and my daughter.
Yeah.
The other one missed the genetic train, but the other 2, they are obese. So we're fighting it. But, genetic plays a major role in you gaining weight.
Right.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it leads into different diseases and underlying conditions, like, for example, diabetes. People are pre-diabetic, and the number one cause for death in the United States is basically cancer and also heart attacks. You get what I mean? Those like the number one causes of death, and it's all health.
Yes.
So just by losing weight, definitely puts you in that category of not being a part of that statistic. So.
Definitely. And there are not a lot of my patients, I've taken them off their blood pressure medication, because you'll be amazed of how much even a pound will change the whole trajectory of your life.
Right.
Okay. You losing a pound or 2, it does help. It drops your blood pressure, your cholesterol. We have a lot of African Americans, especially men, their cholesterol level keeps going on. And men, they sometimes you men, guys don't want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So and that's one of the things too that I'm trying to reach out to the men to understand certain things in their health.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it too, like, GLP is a great thing, whether it's Ozempic or whether it's Wegovy, whatever the case, thing is because, sometimes people try everything, but they tried the diets, they tried the salads, they tried the teas, they try everything, and it just doesn't work. But if you can go ahead and use like some kind of tools and, medications, then if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do.
That's what you
and then
do.
also too, I've heard like some people can't even have children because of their weight.
Definitely. And, when I got married, because I had 2 kids before my current husband, right? I was big.
Really?
I was like 280 pounds.
Wow.
We were struggling to have baby.
So you're telling me
And-
that because people are overweight, that's usually the reason why they can't have a child?
It's a contributory factor. It is. And,
Wow.
specialists will tell you. So, we went to the doctor and, we did all the tests.
Yes.
Everything was fine. And the fertility doctor told me, you got to lose weight.
Yeah.
I lost about 20 to 30 pounds and it happened. It happened. So, things like that, when you are overweight or obese, it's a lot of setbacks you can encounter. Your health,
Yeah.
all the chronic disease, hypertension, cholesterol, all these things is going to, is something that you really have to take care of your health in
Yeah.
order to be healthy.
Yeah.
And, we all want to build wealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not healthy, how are you going to build wealth?
That's true.
You have to
Yeah,
be
that's
healthy.
true.
That's definitely true.
And what's even crazy is like right now, in the American culture, they got a thing where they try to embrace obesity. They try to make it seem like it's normal, and they call it fat shaming. But in reality, it's like it's so much chronic diseases caused from obesity that it shouldn't be embraced as much. Maybe I'm
No.
thinking, especially for the health for the kids that's coming up.
I know you guys are enjoying the show, but I just want to step in and say, if you need to lose weight, check out Golden Hands Weight Loss and Wellness Clinic. We are based in Dallas, Georgia. You can schedule an appointment on our website at www.goldenhandsweightlossandwellness.com. You can sign up for a consultation, as well as check us out at Instagram at Golden Hands Weight Loss, and we'll be glad to answer your question. We are the #1 trusted weight loss clinic in Georgia.
So, like, as a nurse practitioner, what made you, or like, what are some client like testimonials that you could say where their lives or their weight transformed through Ozempic, through GLP-1? Like, what are some results that you've seen?
So, even with, you check my Google review, we have patients and clients
Yeah.
that are extremely happy. And they said if they had known sooner, they would have done it, right? But this medication, and not only the medication, because you have to incorporate nutrition and exercise.
Yeah.
Like I tell my patient, when you are on this medication, the tendency of you losing muscle is very high, okay? So you have to increase your protein intake. And with protein helps you build your muscle. And when you build muscle, you burn in the fat. So most of my clients and most of my patients, they just call me, sometimes they'll just come to the office just to talk. Look at how I am. Thank you. I feel very energetic. I can sleep really good. I feel confident in my clothes. I have one patient, that patient stayed in me all the time. She walked in one day, almost in tears. She said, I have been to a weight loss clinic and I did, she said semaglutide for 3 months and did not lose a pound.
Wow.
I said, and this lady was like 320 pounds. I said, well, I don't know what they were doing over there, but this is the plan. So I sat down with her, talked to her, and we came out with a plan of what she's gonna do, and I recommended, the medication. This lady started. Do you know in a year, this lady now is 188 pounds.
Wow.
Every day she walks into the clinic with a big smile.
Yeah.
Compared to when she walked in, her head was just like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to work. I have spent a lot of money. But today she is happy. She is extremely happy of her results. So that's what, I want to see. I've been there.
Yeah.
They relate to me. And I tell them, and weight loss is not a snap on the finger and you're like, oh, I'm thin. It don't happen like that. You have to put in the work.
Yeah, I agree. And I was gonna say, what are your thoughts on? Do you feel like the doctors Are they embracing this I kind of could call it technology, where people could use an injection to lose weight? Because I know surgery is it's a lot of money for them, so them knowing that a cheaper alternative exists, they might not like it,
Yeah.
Definitely, they don't like it, especially the bariatric surgeons,
Yeah.
because this medication in a year, you could lose. I mean, it depends on everybody's body is different, right? You might metabolize different and might metabolize differently. So most of the doctors, they really do embrace it, but some don't. And what I always tell my patients is, we just don't prescribe medication like that. You have to be qualified, right? There are some criteria for me to prescribe you the medication and for you to use the medication. You don't just walk in and say, oh, I want to lose 5 pounds, and I, give you prescription for Ozempic or for, it don't work like that. So, and that's why most doctors, they will sit down with you and tell you, okay, this is what it entails. And if your insurance covers it, you qualify for the medication, we send your prescription.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some doctors that don't embrace it, but I'm telling you from experience, it's a game changer.
So outside of qualifications for insurance, like what's usually like some of the things that you would consider to qualify a person for?
So you have to be, your BMI has to be 27 and above with 1 or 2 qualifying chronic disease like hypertension, high cholesterol, cardiac issues, diabetes, and things like that. Or you have to be over 30, your BMI has to be over 30 pounds for you to qualify for the medication.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so for the people who are on Ozempic, right, what are some other lifestyle changes? Because I know you can't just be giving yourself the injection and thinking you're just going to lose weight, like you said.
Yeah.
Then you're just going to lose weight out of nowhere. Like, what are some other lifestyle changes that they have to make?
And, just for clarification purposes, when they started the clinical trial, right? They started with Ozempic, okay?
Oh, okay.
So they realized that a lot of patients are losing the weight. So because of insurance purposes, they rebranded it and did Wegovy. So if I'm writing a prescription for Ozempic, it's for diabetics.
Yeah, it's just insulin, right?
Yeah. And if I'm writing a prescription for Wegovy, it's for weight loss.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to be qualified for, but it's exactly the same medication, just like Mounjaro and Zepbound.
Right.
It's the same thing. So yes, to answer your question, what was it?
Like alongside like GLP-1, Wegovy, or even like, Ozempic, what are some other lifestyle changes that they have to make? Like, would they have to change their diet? Would they have to start hitting the gym? Like, I know you can't just give yourself that injection, a few times a month and think you're miraculously just going to lose weight overnight.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one thing, right? People take the medication, they don't go to the gym, they don't even change their lifestyle, and they still lose the weight.
Wow.
But there's a caveat in that, okay? If you don't consume enough protein and if you don't drink enough fluid, you're going to become dehydrated, okay? You're going to end up in the hospital. Number 2, you're going to lose muscle mass. And when you lose muscle mass, you're losing balance. Losing muscle mass is not good, especially when you're getting older down the road. There's a tendency of you developing all these arteriosclerosis and bone issues. Yeah. So we do encourage, even though the medication takes your appetite away and your cravings, you still have to drink enough fluid and you still have to consume enough protein, and make sure you're drinking or you're consuming enough fiber, because some of the side effects like, constipation is really a big thing with the medication. So all those, there's a lifestyle change you have to make, and you have to change your mindset as well. Of course, that medication is, because when you eat like 2 spoons full, you are full. You eat 2 spoons and you're full.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't even eat, finish an apple.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Really?
And even when you start eating, it's like, "Ugh, I can't
Yeah.
even finish it." So that's the mechanism of the medication.
Sorry to break this amazing episode. I just have to let you guys know the best tool for marketing in 2025 is podcasting. Listen, it transformed our lives. Across all platforms, we was able to hit 15 million plus people. Imagine what it did for our business. To mention, we also have some notable likes just through podcasting. People like Usain Bolt, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Garnett, Stephen A. Smith,
Cedric the Entertainer, Queen Latifah. But more importantly, having engagement by your dream clients is probably the most important thing that will move the needle for you and your business. So what we want to teach you is exactly how to go out and start creating amazing content that will find your dream audience to go ahead and start paying you for your products and your services. If you want to be able to learn exactly how to build up an audience and build up a brand online where people start knowing you, liking you, and buying from you for your products and services, what I want to do is invite you guys to our next free masterclass where we're showing you exactly how you can start taking your content and being seen online by your dream clients and possibly some celebrities as well. Go ahead and click the link down below, and I'm going to see you guys in that next masterclass. So what about, all right, cool. Now the person gets to their desired goal, right? You know, once a person loses the amount of weight that they want, how are they going to keep it off? You know, because, you know, the whole goal with Big Pharma is they want you to be on the meds over and over, no matter what the medication is, you know? So how do they how do you keep the weight off once you lose it
And
without
that's
the
why,
meds?
yeah, and that's why it's based also on your lifestyle and your current medical history. Okay. Just like people stay on, let's say, cholesterol medication or high blood pressure medication for life, yes, you can stay on it for life because there are other benefits. Okay, it help protects your heart. They've approved it for those who have sleep apnea, you know, things like that. So I do always encourage my patient when they get to their goal weight.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to make sure before they get there, make sure your mindset has changed and you've made certain choices. And most of the times, I really don't want to take them off, you know, cut them off cold turkey.
Yeah.
You know, you have to take like a
Wean it
lower
off.
dose.
Yeah.
Rather than being on a higher dose, you take a lower dose
Yeah.
for a certain period of time. And we monitor you and see how well you're doing. Yeah.
So who would you recommend that option for? Like, who would you recommend GLP-1 with Wegovy? Like what type of obese person would you recommend it for? Is it the person who they can't go to the gym, or they just don't want to go to the gym, or someone who they looking for an alternative outside of the surgery? Or maybe even somebody who, you know, they got the ability to go to the gym, but they're just like, I wouldn't. Would you recommend the person go to the gym, or would you just be like, hey, you know, use this instead?
I mean, there's no way around.
Yeah.
It's three things. You're taking the medication, you're changing your lifestyle, which is, you know, making sure
Yeah.
you're eating good as well as exercising. Exercising is going to help you with your brain and also strengthen your heart. Most of the times, you've heard when people say they've dieted and exercised and they're not losing weight, right? If you're dieting and you're exercising, you're not losing weight, then there's something wrong. Okay? There's something wrong. And research has shown that exercise alone is not going to make you lose weight.
It's more nutrition.
So it's more nutrition and your mindset. You have to, I know it's busy. It's a microwave society. You know, sometimes we don't get enough sleep, but sleep is very important.
Yeah.
You know, hormonal changes, hormonal imbalance is also going to contribute to you gaining the weight or losing the weight. Yeah.
Wow.
And as a nurse practitioner who's like out, you know, prescribing these things, where does the benefit come in for you? You know, because I know a lot of people are going to be watching this. A lot of nurse practitioners like, why? I want to do what she does. I want to, you know, I'm interested in what she's doing. So how were you able to start, your own clinic? And like, is it virtual or is it like,
So no, I have a physical
oh, physical
office where I
location?
have,
Okay.
yeah, but
That's nice.
I can also do, virtual. I
Okay.
see patient virtually.
Okay.
And yeah.
How were you able to, start it off and get your first few patients? And I know I'm pretty sure you're still marketing to get some people
Yeah.
to, come your way and come to your clinic.
Yeah, so I started, in the heart of COVID. Okay,
Wow.
I opened in the heart of COVID, 2021, and I was the director of nurses at a big, hospital here in Atlanta. Um, but with me, in the process of me losing my weight or getting to my goal weight, I realized, I could change, some people's life with my story and with what I do. Okay. So I was working for this doctor. He had a weight loss clinic as well. But what I saw is it's just walking, grab medication and leave. And I'm like, no, it shouldn't be like that. And most of the times I will stay with the patient, talk to them about nutrition and things like that. And you'll be like, you're spending too much time with these patients.
Yeah. Because
Um,
you're invested in them,
right, and so I decided to open my own clinic so I could sit with this patient, talk to them one-on-one, and let them know that you can do it, but you have to be patient. So I opened up my clinic and, started, with like Facebook. Then Facebook ad was, easy. You put it in and, that's when, and then word of mouth too. Word of mouth was one of my biggest advertising mode. Yeah. And a lot of patients, when they come in, the way we serve them and our customer service, even up to now, we have people driving from like an hour, 30 minutes to come to our clinic.
Wow.
They pass all this because, when you're providing services like this, the people or the patients and the client, they have to trust
They
you.
have to.
If they don't trust you, no matter what you do, you
Yeah.
might have the cleanest clinic. They will not come. So you have to make sure, they trust you and what you're offering them is the real thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
On the business side, starting a clinic and everything is probably not the most easiest task to do. Like, what was that journey like? Like, did you have to raise up capital? Did you go out and get grants? Like, starting your first practice, how did that journey look?
So, it wasn't an easy journey, but when it came to finances, I wasn't really, I didn't struggle in that area, okay? Because I was working in this hospital, I was making decent money.
Yeah.
But, when I started, my husband also supported me. He has his own plumbing company. So we just started, gathering stuff and I, sought out information. There were a lot of things I did by myself. I just sat and I went to the internet, Google, and I did this, I did that. So financing, no, I did not take out a loan.
Yeah.
I just tapped into my, our,
Is there anybody teaching the game? Because you go to school to be a nurse practitioner, but they don't teach you the business side of it.
side.
They don't teach you how to get the clients in the door. They don't teach you how to get your first location. They don't teach you all of that stuff. They teach you how to become a nurse practitioner. That's where they qualify you for. So what was some of the biggest downfalls when you started your first clinic? Because again, that's not, there's people teaching things, but in an industry like this, there's not so much people out there really talking about, how to start your practice. What's the steps to do? Do you get licensed in one state? Do you go out and get licenses in, multiple states? Like talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, I had a friend because mostly, especially in my community, people tend to hold information, right? So I had a friend, shout out to Vera. She helped me, walk me step by step.
Yeah.
And told me, go to this website, do this, do that. So, I put in a lot of hours sleepless night, researching and doing things. And whenever I needed any information, I'll call her. Okay. And so with that, when I gained a lot of information, there were other nurse practitioners that I mentored.
Yeah.
But guess what? I did not monetize that.
Mm.
And, and now I know I'm coming out with a course,
Oh, really?
that, just how to start a weight loss and wellness clinic.
Yes.
What you need, especially in Georgia, but I'm going to make it, the 50 state. So that is the thing. It's a lot of information out there, but if you don't know how to tap into it, you won't really know where to start.
Right.
It is a gruesome process, but you really need someone to help you get to that point.
Yeah.
I'm glad you actually starting, your own course and that you're teaching it, because, even me, like I said, being in the health field, I'm a nurse myself. We know the craziness that goes on in the hospital setting. A lot of nurses are looking for different options. They're running away from the hospital.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of them mention that they want to jump into things like weight loss. How's the lifestyle? Like, do you have a lot of time? Do you have, is it flexible? Like, I know you're running a clinic, but, compare it to being a full-time hospital, staff, nurse practitioner is a little bit different. Is it more convenient, or is it a lot more work?
I mean, I can say once you are established, it is pretty much flexible. And you have to find good staff.
Okay.
If you have good staff, that you have your processes in place, you are going to be fine. And the main thing about the whole, the weight loss industry is saturated right now.
You think so?
It's pretty much saturated. But yes,
you agree?
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
yes, but you have to know your patients. You have to know your client, what they want and what they need. It's not just about selling medication, okay?
Yeah.
It's not about, I've had so many patients or clients that has left other clinic and come to my clinic. Why? Because of the customer service. I sit down with them, I go over their labs, and I tell them, if you don't do this, this, and this, down the road, you're going to be really unhealthy. And being unhealthy, you won't be able to spend time with your family, and, your life expectancy might be cut short. So those are the things. Yes, it is saturated, but you have to know how to get your patients.
That's the most important thing. Marketing,
It's marketing.
Marketing. What's like a piece of advice that you would tell other nurse practitioners or even nurses out there? Because you climbed the ladder from LPN to, I think, CNA and then RN.
LPN, RN.
Wait, I said CNA. I mean, is CNA, LPN, RN?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
No.
All right. So
CNAs are like caregivers. They do
okay.
a lot of great work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's one piece of advice that you would give them? Because, we've came across a lot of nurses and, a lot of times they have a skill that they can go in any state and really operate. Like, you can go in any country. Like, this is a skill, What's some of those strategies that you give other nurses or even nurse practitioners out there to make money outside of the hospital or outside of the clinic? Like, they have the degree, they have the certifications. Like, what's some of those things that you would recommend that they would do?
One thing is you have to be passionate about what you do, and you have to know your stuff. And the other thing too is, if you get in, what held me back a little bit is the business side of it.
Yeah.
I am strong and great in management.
Yes.
But business, oh no.
Very challenging.
But I'm learning a lot of stuff, a lot of things along the way.
Yeah.
And, and with also business, investment, and all those things. So I would tell them, make sure before you get into something like this, know the business part of it. Because if you don't know the business part of it, there are certain things. Because, my first year, yes, the revenue was good, but I'm like, when my CPO was like, okay, you did this, but where is this? So, things like that. I'm like, I was just so blind, The second year it was like, oh, okay, yeah, there's some money, making. But I'll definitely tell them, get people that know what they're doing. You can hire like a CPA, you can hire or find somebody who's gone through this, somebody like me who's gone through this, and ask question like, how can I start with this? And right now, I'm mentoring 2 people in my community. They're trying to open their own clinic right now. So I'm mentoring them. Like every week we meet and I say, okay, we go through the list. Have you done this, or this? Where do you want to open your clinic? What is the location? You have to find a location that is not saturated. Do you know exactly what services you want to offer? If you know the services you want to offer, okay, we need to do this. You need to go to the health department to get certain, all those things. And you have to make sure you go into the county to get licenses and things like that to operate. So, there are little, certain things that you have to do, and it has to come chronologically before you open that clinic. You can't just open the clinic like that. You have to obtain like a certificate of occupancy before you can start. But I tell them, go ahead. If you have the name of the business, go ahead and register it with the Secretary of State.
Yes.
Once you register it, you've started your business. It don't matter if you open your doors 2 years from the time you get your...
Right. And what's like the cost that it would take to, to start up their first clinic or get their first location going, whether they have to find an office and then build it out? Like, what's the typical startup cost? Like, what's the range usually?
So it can range from like, I can say 20 to 50,000. It all depends on what you want to do, right? And I always say start small, you can grow. I started with a 1,200 square foot and I moved to a 2,400 square foot, I think a year ago.
Wow.
Because I added all the services and, So you have to start from a place where you feel comfortable. Now rent is up.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you get in a place where you're not going to pay, all your revenue is going to go to rent. You have to make profit, okay? You don't want to pay $3,000 rent and you're only making $1,000 a month.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So startup, I can say between 20 to 50,000. And if you get in a place that you have to build out, the cost might increase because you have to obtain certain licenses, you have to build put up rooms and things like that.
Right. Okay.
I mean, this one's definitely a really good one. I really like how you broke it down. And do you have any, like before this, I meant to ask you too, like what part of nursing were you in? Like before you got into the weight loss, like were you in medicine? Were you in psych? Like what were you in?
So I was in general and I specialized in adult gerontology. I love working with the elderly. Yes, I love working with the elderly. I worked in the nursing home for like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I moved to the hospital. But, the elderly is just something about, the elderly. But yeah, that's my specialty. I don't, work with kids, 17 and upward.
Okay.
And any emancipated, 16-year-old I can work with.
The elderly be a little tricky too, because, when it's sundowning and then they start, acting up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so... It gets crazy, but definitely, I like what you're doing. It definitely is changing lives, and I like the fact you went through the transformation yourself. Like it's one thing to go out and help people, but it's different when you actually went through it and you know what it takes. So I'm glad. You know, I know you're changing lives, like I said.
I was in a dark place. I'm telling you, when I say
Yeah.
a dark place, because my work and my home were my two safe places. Every time I go out, I feel like all eyes are on me. Like people are going to be like, look at that fat one. She can't lose weight and things like that. I was really depressed.
Yeah.
And later on, I went to my closet, all dark clothes, black.
Really?
And later on, when I was researching, it says, you know, when people are depressed and anxious, most of the times, especially when you're obese, they wear darker clothes. Why? Because they don't want to draw attention to themselves. Because brighter colors, you know, people be like, oh, you know. And even when I go to parties, you know, Africans, we love parties.
Yeah.
So when I go to parties, I'll sit like in the back
Yeah.
and I'll hold my child and just sit there. And I won't get up to dance because I just felt judged. Like everybody's going to be like, look at her, she's fat and, you know, things like that. Even going to the table to take food, you know, you have to act like you're eating right, you know. You have to act like you're eating right because you don't want people to judge you, you know. So I was really in a dark place. And I tell my patients, I say, I understand. I see you, I hear you. And you could hear the frustration in their voices. And I tell them, I've been there. I will hold your hand along the way. And I know it's not easy. There are days that you're going to sleep, but you just need to get up, pick up your big girl and big boy pants, and keep going. Yeah.
Wow. Honestly and truly, because, you know, like the mental health aspect is definitely important to talk about. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you brought that up for sure.
I agree. And even to think, you know, I like coming from, you know, Africa, I'm pretty sure like the beauty standards there is very different.
Trust me, yes.
It's very, very different. So did you see the change being that you used to be overweight and then coming to America? And did you see like a change in the way people treated you compared to, you know, back in Africa? And you was like, you know, you felt a little bit lower, like you felt like your self-esteem lowered a little bit?
Oh, yeah, it definitely went down the drain. I mean, you know, when I immigrated to the United States, I wasn't obese or overweight.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know, of course, good food here and, you know, you just see anything you want to eat. And so I just started gaining weight. Then I had my first son, okay? The weight just started piling up and, you know, all the way to almost 300 pounds. And I'm like, what? I wasn't like this.
Yeah.
When I look, because back in Africa, right, you walk like 10 miles a day to go get food.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, growing up, we didn't really, you know, my dad they categorized him as, you know, somebody, you know, he was well-to-do, like, you know, but still, you still have to walk a certain mile to go buy like bread or things like that. And it's not all this additive, you know, that they have here, food, and it's not, you know, it's not back home.
Yeah.
You go to the farm, get your fresh vegetables, come home and cook it. No adding of sugar or butter or anything. You just cook it as natural as it. So back home, you won't really see obese people a lot.
Yeah.
So when I came here, and the standards were very different.
Yeah.
When I started gaining weight, especially in my culture, they'll look at you as like an outcast because it's not something common. It's not common back home.
Yeah.
So when you are amongst people, they're like looking at you like she's eating too much, or she's not taking care of her health, or she's not doing. Yes, eating too much will make you, you know, gain weight. So, you know, yeah, things like that. So, yeah, the mental health part of it is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this is a great one. I'm glad, you know, not every time we have people from the health field on the show. So definitely, it was like a good one. It was
Definitely a good one.
Informative for sure.
And I'm glad that we had this because here's the reality about it, right? The United States, like the food corporation, the medication, like they put a lot into marketing. They put a lot into the food to make people want to be addictive to it. They change the flavors.
Mm-hmm.
They add this, they add that. And it just makes you want to eat it. And sometimes like you just get so caught up in it, you know? And next thing you know, you can't control yourself. So you're fighting against what the trap that they have set for you, you know?
And like you said, the diet industry did take advantage of the dieting.
Yeah.
You know, the food industry is like, okay, our failed diet. People be like, okay, I'm on a diet.
Yeah.
It's yo-yo. They yo-yo diet. You know, we have like cabbage soup or special K diets, and I tried all the diets.
Keto.
It sure didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. And you know, the mindset is you are on this diet, right? And I always think when I'm on the diet, I'll do like a week and go to the gym for 2 days and I expect to lose 50 pounds. It certainly does not work like that.
It doesn't.
And that's how the food industry capitalize on dieting, and they make a lot of money off of that.
Yeah.
You know, they make a lot of money off of that.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I'm glad that we had this conversation for sure. I would like to ask you, what's one empowering message that you would like to leave with the audience? You know, hearing your story, hearing where you came from, you know, and not only that, the amount of patients that you see, the amount of women, the amount of men that you see, like, what's one empowering piece of information that you will leave them with?
The scale doesn't define your worth, because for years, the scale told me how to act, if I should be happy or not. The number you see on the scale is a number. There are many factors that can make, change that number. So I tell, and even that's what I emphasize in my podcast, is say, do not let the scale dictate your worth.
This was good. This was good. We definitely going to see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Drop your favorite part down in the comments down below. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys' comments. So I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.